Tonight we come to you from Detroit, Michigan, on the road to the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. Welcome once again to Monday Night Raw on Ultrasport. So last week, this man, AJ Styles, competed in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match against Cody Rhodes, and it was the American Nightmare who came out on top and punched his ticket to Perth, Australia. And at the end of last week's edition of Raw, we were promised that AJ Styles would have an announcement to share with the WWE Universe. And as we kick off the show here tonight in Detroit, Michigan, we're about to find out what that announcement truly is. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, has arrived here on Monday Night Raw, and we are all ready to find out what exactly he has to say. AJ Styles shocking the WWE Universe tonight as we open Monday Night Raw, the phenomenal one announcing that WrestleMania will see the last match of his career as a professional wrestler, and that the road to WrestleMania will be a road on which we bid farewell to the two-time WWE Champion. Now, as we come on the air tonight, we would like to welcome you into the all-new state-of-the-art Ultrasport studio in Orlando, Florida. This studio will serve as our home base for wrestling coverage, and it is from here that we'll be bringing you analysis on Monday Night Raw every week, as well as premium live events. And speaking of premium live events, Elimination Chamber is a week from Saturday set to take place at the Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia. That night, we'll see two editions of the eponymous Chamber match, one to determine Roman Reigns' challenger at WrestleMania, as well as another that will crown the first United States champion of the Ultrasport era. Tonight, we can reveal the competitors in that second match. Rusev will be joined by Sami Zayn, LA Knight, Randy Orton, Jacob Fatu, and Logan Paul, and in one of tonight's matches, Zayn will be in action against Paul as both men prepare for this chamber match. As for the other chamber match, we know three of the participants so far. CM Punk, who got a bye thanks to coming second place in the Royal Rumble, as well as Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, both of whom qualified last week on Raw. Tonight, we're going to find out the final three competitors in this match, as Solo Sikoa takes on GUNTHER, Bron Breakker battles Jey Uso, and Seth Rollins returns to action against Shinsuke Nakamura. And as a matter of fact, the Rollins-Nakamura match is the thing kicking off the show tonight. So with that in mind, we're going to send things right back to Detroit as Monday Night Raw gets underway. Well, he made his return, number 30, in the Royal Rumble, and it was expected that he would go after the Vision, who turned on him, but instead he wants to go straight back to the top. Seth freaking Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion before getting injured, missed the unification. Well, I guess he didn't, because he was in the Rumble for the unified title, but he makes his return with the Ultrasport era here, and perhaps has decided to forgive and forget and move on to greener pastures in relation to the Vision, as he looks to join CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Drew McIntyre in the Elimination Chamber match for a chance at Roman Reigns' WWE Championship. And he and Roman, of course, have had some battles over the years. Think back to, for example, the 2022 Rumble, when Roman defended his title against Rollins and Seth came out in Shield gear. I had the honor of actually being in the building for that one, and I can tell you that was quite a surprise. But now we await the arrival of Seth's opponent for tonight, the man he must get through to progress to the Elimination Chamber, and that man is Shinsuke Nakamura, the former WWE Intercontinental Champion, the former IWGP Intercontinental Champion for that matter, and Heavyweight Champion. But the one thing that he has not accomplished on the main roster in WWE is becoming the World Champion. He won the Royal Rumble in 2018. Of course, that led to the match against AJ Styles, who we just learned is retiring at WrestleMania. They faced off at WrestleMania 34, and Nakamura infamously low-blowing Styles in what initially appeared to be a moment of respect, and presenting the title to Styles after he won. But Nakamura has been close to greatness, but he has never tasted it. That is, if your definition of greatness is, of course, the WWE Championship. He'll have to get through Seth Rollins, and he'll have to get through the Elimination Chamber, but we could see Roman Reigns taking on Shinsuke Nakamura in the main event of WrestleMania. The King of Strong Style is here. The architect, the visionary, the fashionista, whatever you want to call Seth, is here. And we are ready for our first match of the night here on Monday Night Raw. Rollins versus Nakamura for a spot in the Elimination Chamber match in Perth. Here we go. There's the bell, and we're underway, and Rollins immediately with a shot to Nakamura, pulls him in for a clothesline here, and Seth is taking no prisoners. He's starting out strong here tonight against the King of Strong Style. Rollins with a kick to the back there of Nakamura as he sends him into the ropes. Now catches him, rolls through, boom. Kick right to the midsection, the chest area of the King of Strong Style. Knee to the back as Rollins takes control early on. Oh dear. Nakamura sent outside. What is Seth thinking here? Oh, he's not gonna fly. A kick through the ropes directly aimed at Nakamura sends him close to the barricade, but Shinsuke now is going to counter, at least briefly. Rollins quickly back in control as these two men brawl outside of the ring, and I don't think there's been any articulated protocol on what we do if this goes to a double countout, one of these qualifier matches, but I guess we just ask Triple H or something. It may not matter. Rollins back into the ring, but I don't think it's going to stay that way for long. Eyeing up Shinsuke Nakamura. Rollins is going to fly. And that'll, of course, reset the referee's counts. But look at this from Seth Rollins. If you saw Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton last week, that's what this reminds me of. McIntyre was incredibly aggressive against Orton, and the Viper was barely able to get in any offense. as McIntyre cruised to the Elimination Chamber match. But Nakamura now, big German suplex sends Seth flying as the King of Strong Style is able to get back in this match. However, Rollins is going to counter. And now Seth Rollins. Boom. Seth steps back. Not a curb stomp, just a knee to the side of the face. And now through the legs to the midsection. The chest of Shinsuke Nakamura. Rollins is going up top. He's going to fly. Big splash. Here's the cover on Nakamura to go to the Elimination Chamber. 2 kickouts at 2. But I don't think Rollins is done. Nakamura, however, elbows to the midsection. He's going to counter. And you can hear the boos from this crowd. Very pro-Rollins here tonight, I guess. As these two men battle it out for a chance to go to the Elimination Chamber. Nakamura now in control here against Seth. And that now moves through into the cover. Just a kick out at 2. Almost 1. Shinsuke Nakamura setting up for something big. And will this be the end? Cover on Rollins to go to the Elimination Chamber. Kick out at 2. Rollins still staying alive. As this crowd is just loving it. Nakamura sent to the corner. Rollins. Boom. And now Seth Rollins. Curb stomp off the second rope. The cover by Rollins to go to the Elimination Chamber. Still a kick out at 2. Incredible scenes here tonight on Monday Night Raw, and this is just our first match. Rollins, look at that! Off the top rope. I don't know how many degrees that was, but still, it's not enough. Nakamura able to kick out. Rollins is pulling out all the stops, and you can see he's going a bit crazy here. The adrenaline perhaps kicking in for the Visionary as he looks to get back to the top of the mountain here in the WWE. Nakamura rolls outside the ring and, okay then. Oh, the mist! The mist! The mist! Nakamura takes advantage with the ref down. Blue mist to the eyes of Seth Rollins. Referee is down, and that may have just changed the game. Incredible. Rollins can barely see, and now he's sent into the post. Quick thinking there by Nakamura as the ref gets taken out. Look at this. This is a side of Shinsuke Nakamura that we haven't seen all match. He goes into the cover just as the ref gets back up. It's a kick out at 1. It's a kick out at 1, but could that be what he needs? Shinsuke Nakamura with the mist to the eyes of Seth Rollins, who's going to roll outside of the ring now. Nakamura, however, is still in control, and that could be the turning point of this entire match. Sliding outside the ring now is Shinsuke Nakamura. Rollins rolls away. And now, knee to the back there. Gets Nakamura back to his feet. Rollins still in control. Nakamura slammed face first against that hardest part of the ring, but he's going to send Rollins into the steel stairs. Count is at 5. Nakamura just has to stay in the ring. That is, if Rollins wasn't back to his feet, which he is. But look at that! The Kinshasa from out of nowhere to Seth Rollins. 2, kick out at 2. What a match. Nakamura capitalized, took advantage, and Rollins' path to WrestleMania may now be rather obscured. You'd think so at least, but he's able to counter. as he frantically tries to reestablish control here. Rollins stepping back. No! Incredible! Nakamura counters it into a cutter as Rollins wanted the curb stomp. What a match. This should have been the main event. Back and forth they go. Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura seems to be in control here. What an upset this would be. Just let this sink in. If Nakamura beats Rollins tonight, what does that mean for Seth Rollins? And it looks like he might have a chance at doing so. Rolls him over into the cover. 1, 2, no! A weak kick out by Seth Rollins keeps him in this match. But one more big move from Nakamura could send his WrestleMania dreams crashing to the floor. Shinsuke Nakamura with a slam to Seth Rollins. He goes to the second rope, calls for the Visionary to get up. And no! Rollins gets out of the way. Seth Rollins shot to the back of the head. And you can see Rollins is incensed. He's infuriated. He hits the curb stomp on Shinsuke Nakamura. And with that, looks to put this away and advance to the Elimination Chamber. He will do just that. And Seth Rollins is going to Australia. After a strong start, Nakamura turned the tables with that mist, but Rollins is able to fight through it. And he will indeed be competing in the chamber. Wow. So as we come off that match, I'm going to make a very bold statement here. I think that was perhaps one of the best matches that I personally have ever seen. Back and forth, Rollins and Nakamura. Nakamura taking advantage of the referee being down, spraying the mist, and even with that, Seth Rollins managing to fight through and punch his ticket to Elimination Chamber. And he will be joining Punk, McIntyre, and Rhodes in the Elimination Chamber match for the main event spot at WrestleMania. Last week, Dominik Mysterio, the AAA Mega Champion, took on Mr. Iguana, a AAA luchador, and he started things out by hitting Mr. Iguana from behind with his Mega Campeonato belt before cruising to a victory. Now, PENTA El Zero Miedo, has stepped up in Mr. Iguana's place to hopefully get a measure of revenge against Dominik Mysterio, and that is coming up next. Lucha action as Dirty Dom takes on PENTA. It is our second match here tonight on Monday Night Raw, and it starts right now. Well, in the planning and organization of this match, WWE officials have ensured that Dominik Mysterio comes out first here tonight so as to avoid a repeat of last week's incident with Mr. Iguana. But here he is, Dirty Dom in all of his glory, or at least as glorious as a person like this can be. Coming off that questionable victory over Mr. Iguana last week. Here is El Mega Campeón de AAA, or in English, the AAA Mega Champion. The top champion over in Mexico. He has held that title for a couple of months now. And one wonders, is PENTA going to be the next challenger for the title? He may very well get that opportunity coming on down the line if he's able to put on a good performance against Dominik, because he's going to have to defend it at some point here. But that will not be tonight as Dominik Mysterio makes his arrival. Followed, of course, by PENTA El Zero Miedo. This man has taken the world by storm since debuting in WWE back in January of last year. Had a storied career around the world, was a performer in AAA, TNA, AEW, before making his way over to the WWE, and he has had a great year in 2025 and continuing now into 2026, taking on Dominik Mysterio here tonight. Very agile, very athletic, as you can see by the way he gets in the ring here. Oh, look at the stare down. PENTA eyeing his opponent outside the ring there, as he arrives here on Monday Night Raw to take on Dirty Dom. It is Mysterio versus PENTA in our second match here tonight on Monday Night Raw. And again, we are glad that you have joined us here as we continue on the road to WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia, of course, coming up in just a week from Saturday. And away we go between Mysterio and PENTA. PENTA with a clothesline to Mysterio, followed by a standing moonsault. Better start for Dominik's opponent this week than there was last week. Mr. Iguana did not fare very well against the Mega Champion, and I think he's still at home recovering from what unfolded. But PENTA starting off holding his own here against Dirty Dom, but we shall see if he can continue that as he lifts Dominik now, bouncing his opponent off the top rope and going to the middle rope himself. Big splash to Dominik Mysterio from PENTA, who now goes into the cover. Just one. Still pretty early to put things away. Stomp to the back of the head there, and now into another standing moonsault from PENTA. Dominik rolls out of the way there, but PENTA keeping up the attack. Down goes the champion. PENTA staggering there as Mysterio fights back from the ground. Intercepted now, the kick off the second rope. Mysterio with a big splash takes down PENTA. Sending his opponent into the corner now. Head bounced right against that top turnbuckle. PENTA, however, fights out of the corner. And now, going to that second rope again. Canadian Destroyer, beautifully done. And PENTA zeroed in, if you will excuse the pun, on Dominik Mysterio here. He manages to execute it from the top rope, even as Mysterio tried to interfere there. And now, going after the right arm of the Mega Champion. It is all PENTA right now. He goes back to the top. What is he looking for here? Here's the cover to Mysterio. 1, 2, kick out of 2. But again, PENTA with absolute control right now. And the crowd is loving this one as he continues to go on the attack. Moonsault there to Dominik Mysterio from PENTA. And now off the second rope, connects with the splash. PENTA continuing to maintain control here against Mysterio. Double leg drop. And again. And now PENTA could be looking to finish things off here. Has him up. And now into the cover on Dominik Mysterio. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Mysterio able to stay alive, at least for now. But you can see him crawling up on the apron here. Mysterio counters now. Gets back in the ring. PENTA, however, is not going to take that. However, Dominik does appear to be mounting a comeback. Code breaker to PENTA there. Channeling Chris Jericho, and both men down in the middle of the ring. Looks like Dominik's going to be the first to get back to his feet. PENTA right on the attack as Dominik takes out the leg. Now walking his opponent into the corner here. Mysterio. Nice scoop slam there. Goes into the cover. Will this put him away? One. Just one. Not even two. Far from the end there, as Mysterio looks to continue the attack. Boom. Super kick intercepted. Oh, knee to the face. And PENTA now perhaps wanted to finish things off and may still have the opportunity to do so. Catches Dominik off the ropes with a nasty kick. And now the double leg drop again to Dominik Mysterio. Here's the cover from PENTA on Mysterio. 1, 2, kick out at 2. But Dirty Dom is just barely hanging in there. PENTA still on the attack, hits the enziguri. Moonsault. And again, wanted again. Dominik able to get away. Off the second rope now, hits the splash. Here's the cover. One, just one. PENTA still fighting here. Code breaker again from Dominik. And now, perhaps looking to go to the top to put an end to this one against PENTA. Dominik from the top rope hits the splash. And now, again, goes out to the apron this time. What is he? He's not looking for anything. Just wanted to showboat. Into the corner goes PENTA. And Dominik now, off the bottom rope, DDT, beautiful. Here's the cover from Dominik Mysterio. Kick out at 2 still. And Mysterio now going to that middle rope. Hits the splash. Here's the cover. Will this be the thing to put PENTA away? Still no. And now you can see the raw frustration here for Dominik Mysterio as he tries everything he has to put this opponent away. Another moonsault from the middle rope. Waiting for PENTA to get up now. Oh, just teeing off in the corner. But PENTA's going to put a stop to that. Reverses course here. And now, from the middle rope, Canadian Destroyer. Here's the cover from PENTA on Mysterio. 1, 2, 3. And that is all. PENTA puts Dominik Mysterio away here in our second match of the night on Monday Night Raw. And we'll see if these two meet again. But for now, it is PENTA who is on top. So there are still 2 spots up for grabs in the Elimination Chamber match to determine Roman Reigns' #1 contender at WrestleMania, and we're going to see right now who the 5th man joining the match will be. 2 evenly matched heavyweights are going to go at it as Solo Sikoa battles the 2-time World Heavyweight Champion GUNTHER. The High Chief takes on the Ring General as Monday Night Raw continues from Detroit. The 5th qualifier match for the Elimination Chamber is right now. Well, this one is going to be nothing less than a battle of two powerhouses, and if I'm being honest, I'm finding it kind of hard to pick who's going to win here. Solo Sikoa and GUNTHER. Two very talented, very strong superstars competing head-to-head here tonight for a spot in that Elimination Chamber match coming up in Perth, Australia. It could go either way. GUNTHER has had more experience at the top. I'll give him that advantage because he is a two-time world champion and the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time. Solo Sikoa has had less opportunities at world titles, although that could change if he beats GUNTHER here tonight and goes all the way through the Elimination Chamber to take on, mind you, Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. What a matchup that would be. But here is the Ring General, GUNTHER, making his way to the ring. The former leader of the stable known as Imperium. And as I said, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion and the career killer, the man who retired Goldberg and who retired John Cena in 2025. It seems as though everything's coming up GUNTHER, so to speak. And could he be on his way to the main event of WrestleMania against Roman Reigns? We shall see. He first has to get through Solo Sikoa here tonight. It is our second Elimination Chamber qualifier match here tonight, and the fourth overall of 5. It is Solo Sikoa against GUNTHER here on Monday Night Raw for a spot in that all-important chamber match coming up just a week from Saturday. Here we go. Again, this is a close one. And I think it's going to be a very close battle as Charles Robinson calls for the bell. Oh! Solo Sikoa right out of the blocks. Big kick to GUNTHER. Takes him down instantly. And Sikoa may have the agility advantage tonight over GUNTHER because, I don't know, I don't think you see GUNTHER do kicks like that very often. Sikoa, oh, getting a bit of a scuffle with the referee here. Oh, and that gives GUNTHER the opening to tee off. Suplex by GUNTHER to Solo Sikoa here, and the ring general now firmly in charge as he tees off with some of those signature chops of his. GUNTHER is not holding anything back tonight. He has gotten his chance at offense, and he is absolutely taking it. Look at this. And Solo may live to regret stepping into the ring with GUNTHER here tonight. However, he rolls away. Oh. Headbutt. Right to GUNTHER. Uppercut, however, from the ring general. And this is what I meant when I said this match would be close and that it's hard to pick who's going to win. These two are going at it just back and forth as GUNTHER hits a German suplex on the High Chief. He'll go for the cover. Will it be an early ending to this match? Nope, just a kick out at 1. This is what I meant when I said it's going to be close. You see them going back and forth here, GUNTHER and Solo Sikoa, although GUNTHER firmly in control at the present moment, but that could change any time, I think. And whoever wins here is going to have a narrow margin of victory. Sikoa helped back to his feet. Now ducks GUNTHER's punch and fights back with one of his own. And Sikoa fired up here as he sends GUNTHER. Oh my! Very fired up. Banging his head against the top turnbuckle there. Looked for a moment like he was going to wait for GUNTHER to get back in, but he goes outside of the ring. GUNTHER now. GUNTHER with a sleeper hold on the outside to Sikoa. And that is the hold with which he retired Cena, but Sikoa is able to maneuver out of it. That sleeper hold right now may be one of the most dangerous moves in all of the WWE. If you find yourself in that, you know, you gotta be aware. Sikoa, however, out of nowhere with a Samoan spike, and that could be the end. 1, 2, kick out at 2. That came absolutely out of nowhere, and Gunther's WrestleMania hopes seemingly destroyed in a matter of seconds, and they would be had he not kicked out there. But now, bounces Sikoa off the ropes, goes into a cover of his own, but that's only going to be a kick out at 1. Gunther moving around, stalking Sikoa, who sends him into the ropes. Back body drop. Here's the cover on Gunther by Sikoa. 1, 2, kick out at 2. And I would imagine that, you know, Gunther, he's taken that Samoan spike. He's got to be rather weakened here, although he is fighting back against Sikoa. Look at this. Gunther now fired up, setting up for something big, but Sikoa is going to make sure it doesn't happen. And Solo Sikoa now with Gunther in his grasp. Oh, just hung up on that top rope there. Here's the cover. This could be, nope. I was going to say this could be the end, but as you can all see, it's just a count of 1. Kick to the kidneys there of Gunther. And could Sikoa be setting up for a second spike? I do believe he is, but Gunther has something to say about that. Counters now. Uranagi. And Gunther is back in the match. Here's the cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2. This is one for the ages, ladies and gentlemen, and this crowd seems to know it. As Gunther goes up to the top rope now, bringing out the big guns. Oh my! I don't know how you can get up from that. I certainly can't. But Solo has, and as he goes for the single leg takedown, Gunther just picks him up and throws him across the ring. Now teeing off with those signature chops. Sikoa in the corner, defenseless against Gunther here. And now just hung up as Gunther tees off. What the heck? Solo out to the floor. Gunther hits a big splash. And the two men now outside as the referee's count begins, getting near the timekeeper's area now. Oh. Sikoa sent into the steps as Gunther waits in the ring, perhaps hoping for a count-out victory here tonight. Referee communicating to Sikoa, but he looks pretty lifeless down there. Finally stirring at the count of 5, 6, 7, but back in as Gunther wanted to go right after him, but it seems that Sikoa is rather rejuvenated. Solo Sikoa bouncing Gunther's head off the top rope, top turnbuckle I should say, and now with some chops of his own. Away goes Sikoa on Gunther here. As he goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out at 2. He's already hit one Samoan spike, wanted to go for a second, but Gunther was able to get out of it. Sikoa in the corner. Left the opening. Gunther. Emerald Flosion. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3. And in a single instant, the tables turn. Gunther is headed to the Elimination Chamber. Come from behind victory in a sense, as Gunther takes the win here on Monday Night Raw. Wow. So at the top of the show tonight, we announced the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE United States Championship taking place 1 week from Saturday in Perth, Australia, and we're going to take a look at that lineup again. Again, it is Rusev, Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, and LA Knight, all competing to be crowned the first WWE United States Champion of the Ultrasport era. And coming up right now, Sami Zayn is about to take on Logan Paul in a warm-up match for that chamber match. It's our fourth match of the night here on Monday Night Raw, and we've just learned that Sami Zayn will be accompanied to the ring tonight by Kevin Owens. That match is right now on Monday Night Raw, so let's send things back to Detroit for the action. Sami Zayn, 1 week from Saturday, will be looking to once again become the WWE United States Champion as he makes his way down to the ring here tonight on Monday Night Raw as we get a preview of that Elimination Chamber match with Zayn preparing to take on Logan Paul. But Sami Zayn is accompanied tonight by his longtime friend and sometimes enemy, Kevin Owens. And the last time we saw Owens in WWE before his return a few weeks ago in the Royal Rumble, he was taking on Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match at last year's Elimination Chamber. But it seems as though these two have patched things up because Owens is coming out to the ring here tonight with Zayn as he prepares to take on the megastar, the YouTuber turned wrestler who calls himself still humble, Logan Paul, perhaps one of the most despised men in the entire WWE, making his way to the ring now. You can see the Prime logo on the back of his vest. This man always one for a marketing opportunity and hoping to get some visibility tonight with a win over Sami Zayn as we get ever closer to that Elimination Chamber match. And of course, we've got our main event coming up after this, Bron Breakker and Jey Uso, to decide the last spot in the Elimination Chamber, the second Elimination Chamber match, which will determine Roman Reigns' opponent for WrestleMania. Logan Paul, also a former United States champion, held the title for quite a long time. Perhaps will come back to that glorious pedestal if he wins on not this Saturday, but a week from this Saturday. Away we go. Sami Zayn, accompanied by Kevin Owens, taking on Logan Paul in our fourth match here tonight on Monday Night Raw. And Zayn with the elbows to the midsection of Logan. Good start as he sends Paul into the corner. Zayn already going up to the top rope. And look at this! One of the Swanton Bomb, channeling Jeff Hardy, but Paul wisely moving out of the way, able to react there as he hits a drop kick on Sami Zayn. Now sliding to the outside. There's a splash. And the referee's count will begin as Logan urges the crowd on. Enziguri from Sami Zayn gets the Canadian back into this match. The referee almost at 5 now as Paul is sent back into the ring. Zayn rejoining him. Elbows to the midsection, giving the Maverick out of Sami Zayn's grasp. And now, in the corner as Kevin Owens watches on. Owens will not be participating in that Elimination Chamber match, but he is coming off of a win. He is coming off of a loss, I should say, against Solo Sikoa last week on Raw. So there may be some unfinished bad blood there, especially after Sikoa was denied a spot in the Elimination Chamber match by GUNTHER. Zayn teeing off here on Logan Paul. Kick to the back, targeting those kidneys. But the Maverick is going to get the leg up and get back into this match. Paul off the ropes, hits the splash. Here's the cover. 1, 2, not even 2. Zayn able to get out quickly as Paul continues to stalk his opponent. Boom. Owens, you can see, watching on. Hasn't done anything to interfere just yet, but watching perhaps for an opportunity as we see the cover here from Logan Paul. Kick out at 1 by Sami Zayn. And I think maybe Logan Paul is underestimating the strength of Zayn here tonight, which seems rather characteristic for Logan Paul to do, if we're being honest. Blue Thunder Bomb from out of nowhere, and here's the cover. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Sami Zayn hitting that Blue Thunder Bomb from absolutely nowhere, and now he's going to send Paul to the outside. Zayn is gonna fly. DDT outside the ring. This is indeed awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible action we're seeing here on Monday Night Raw as Zayn hits the Exploder Suplex as well here on Paul as the referee's count continues outside the ring. Paul sent into the steel steps as Sami Zayn just continues going after his opponent here. Rolls Paul back into the ring, and the Maverick certainly looking worse for wear after that exchange. It wasn't really an exchange, more of a beatdown, but Zayn sending Paul to the ropes, drop down. Oh, caught him. Here's the cover from Sami Zayn off the Helluva kick. 1, 2, kick out at 2. The improvised Helluva kick off the ropes there. Paul is going to counter now. Oh. Right to the midsection there, through the legs. As Zayn tries to crawl up using the ropes. Big shot to the face from Logan Paul. And again, Logan Paul, of course, with that boxing background, he's going to undo the turnbuckle. Certainly one who is not above underhanded shenanigans, Logan Paul, as he now looks to be going for the Three Amigos. There's 2. And there is the 3rd. Kip up from Logan Paul as he goes for the cover on Zayn. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Zayn stays alive. But for how much longer is the question. Logan Paul continuing the attack as he will now target the hand of his opponent. Meanwhile, Kevin Owens just watching on as his friend gets decimated by the Maverick here. Splash from the ropes as he helps Zayn back to his feet. German suplex. Logan Paul going up to the top rope now. What's he thinking here? Big splash. Here's the cover from Paul to Zayn. Kick out. Kick out at 2. Sami Zayn still staying alive in this match. Logan Paul getting his opponent back to a vertical base. Oh. Charles Robinson, meanwhile, fixing that turnbuckle pad. Oh. Zayn rolls out of this. Able to maneuver through the hands of Logan Paul. And now back on offense here against the Maverick. Using that leverage as he ties Logan's leg in the rope. Sami Zayn now fighting back. He's fired up. Off the ropes now. Drop kick. Beautiful. And Sami Zayn now targeting the leg of Logan Paul. And now just, wrenching at the foot as the Maverick, the member of the Vision, writhes in agony. Paul Heyman is here tonight, but we've been told that Logan Paul wanted to go this alone. There is the Blue Thunder Bomb once again from Sami Zayn, and it's still a kick out at 2. Zayn with Paul back to his feet. Wanted to send him into the corner. Paul able to reverse course here. And now Zayn fights out, tries to fight out. And it looks like they're going to go back and forth. And would you listen to the noise in the arena here, ladies and gentlemen, as Sami Zayn and Logan Paul trade blows here on Monday Night Raw. Paul gets a good shot in, misses, but it looks like he might prevail. Maybe not. Sami Zayn calling for Paul to bring it, and there is the big boot. Logan Paul looks set to finish this one. There it is, one lucky shot to Sami Zayn as Paul goes into the cover. Kick out at 2! Logan Paul off the second rope, hits the moonsault, goes for the cover again. 1, 2, kick out at 2 still. Sami Zayn, despite all the damage he has taken here, still has some fight left. And Logan Paul now, looks like he was going to go over to the corner for the top rope, but maybe not. Elbow from Sami Zayn. Paul sent into the ropes. Drop down, leapfrog, and a big boot. Helluva kick from Sami Zayn. Cover on Paul. 1, 2, no. I think this has been the match of the night so far, ladies and gentlemen. What action. Oh, exploder suplex into the corner. And is that all? 1, 2, still no. They're just leaving everything in the ring here, and this isn't even the big match. This is a preview for what we're going to see in the Elimination Chamber in Australia. Zayn wanted the big boot, wanted the Helluva kick, I should say. Paul saw it coming, but he's sent to the corner again. Zayn had another one ready. Sami Zayn with another Helluva kick to Logan Paul, goes for the cover and finishes him off. Sami Zayn coming away with the win here tonight against the Maverick Logan Paul as we get set for the United States Championship match at Elimination Chamber. Well, it is time for our main event here on Monday Night Raw, and it is time for us to find out who will be the final entrant in the Elimination Chamber match to determine Roman Reigns' challenger at WrestleMania. We have CM Punk, we have Drew McIntyre, we have Cody Rhodes, we have Seth Rollins, and we have Gunther. Now, who is going to be number 6? Will it be Bron Breakker? Will it be Jey Uso? Those two are set to collide in tonight's main event right here in Detroit right now. Let's go back to the ring. Let's get things underway, and let's see who is going to be the last man joining the chamber match. Nothing would be bigger for this man's career than to go to WrestleMania, face off against Roman Reigns, and walk out as the undisputed WWE Champion. This man is absolutely the hottest up-and-coming star in the WWE. He is going to be a future world champion. That is unavoidable. The question is, when? Just how soon? And it may very well be at WrestleMania this year, but he has to get through Jey Uso tonight, he has to get through the Elimination Chamber, and he has to get through Roman Reigns, and these are things that he's all very capable of doing. but it is going to be a hard road. And can you imagine if this man walked out in Vegas accompanied to the ring by Paul Heyman, the former wise man of Roman Reigns, who is now managing Breaker and his cohort in the Vision it will be a year after turning on Roman at WrestleMania 41 in the very same stadium. It could happen. But first, he has to get through this man, the cousin of the tribal chief who won his first world title against Gunther at WrestleMania last year. Main event, Jey Uso. And this is also gonna be another close match. It could go either way, much like Solo Sikoa and Gunther. And we shall see who comes out on top. But if you were to ask me to make a prediction, I would honestly say Jey Uso, because he's had more success at the top. He's been a world champion. He's been to that stage. He won the Royal Rumble last year, and Breaker, compared to him, still seems a bit more inexperienced. But of course, I could be all wrong, and this could be Breaker's biggest shot to break into the big time. As Jey Uso arrives here, this crowd in Detroit, Michigan, getting into it with the yeeting as we prepare for our main event here on Monday Night Raw. Bron Breakker and Jey Uso for the final spot in the Elimination Chamber match a week from Saturday in Perth, Australia. We are ready for action in front of a sold-out crowd here at Little Caesars Arena. We are glad that you have joined us here tonight, and we hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, the longest-running weekly episodic television program now coming to the Ultrasport Network. And we bring you the main event as Bron Breakker takes on Jey Uso for the last spot in the Elimination Chamber match. And right out of the gate, it is Bron Breakker going after Uso with this technical submission hold. Getting on the ground there. Uso picked up, now sent to the ropes. Oh, big shoulder tackle. Just thrown towards the ropes there. Breakker will go for the cover a bit early. Kick out at one by Jey Uso. Breakker now looking for a power bomb perhaps. Oh! Uso rolling out of the ring now. Takes a short breather to collect himself, and that is going to pay off as he sends Breakker into the corner. Wrapping the arm now around the top rope, getting a bit of leverage in. Breakker, however, able to block, able to intercept. And away we go in the middle of the ring. These two men going back and forth. Uso gets a couple of shots in. Breakker fighting back. Nice chop there. Jey continuing to advance as Breakker has moved towards the ropes. Oh. Just a slap right to the face, and Breakker wants one more. Uso goes for the chest chop, but he's intercepted. Look at this. There you go. I don't think either man came out on top there. But right out of the gate there, it is Uso who's going to take advantage as Breakker is sent to the ropes. Couldn't think of anything there. Collision. Oh, headbutt. Draws Breakker in. You've got to be careful with those. That's how Katsuyori Shibata had his career nearly ended and certainly put on hiatus for a while over New Japan Pro Wrestling. But Breakker now going for a suplex will follow through on Uso. Going into the corner now. Might be looking to end this with a spear! A spear from Breakker to Uso. And the end, just like that, may be near. Uso fighting back from one knee. Has Breakker near the ropes. And now back him into the corner. Went for the super kick. Breakker steps away. Uso in the corner now, but he'll get the takedown to regain control of this matchup. And Jey Uso climbing to the top. Exhaustion beginning to set in, but he hits an elbow drop on Bron Breakker. Cover near the ropes. Is it going to be good? 2. Kick out at 2. No rope break, but Breakker still able to kick out. Uso with Breakker back to his feet. Super kick. There it is. And Jey Uso going to the top once again. Locked in here. Sight set on Bron Breakker as he hits the splash. Uso gets Breakker back to his feet. Super kick to the midsection. Goes down. Smack to the face. And now Jey Uso to the top rope. He goes once more. Oh! Breakker got out of the way. And will that turn the tables in this match? Maybe not. Uso sends him into the ropes. Drop down. Leapfrog. And a super kick! Jey Uso is fired up here tonight as he looks to put Bron Breakker away and progress to the Elimination Chamber. This is make or break, ladies and gentlemen. This is a ticket to WrestleMania, or a possible ticket to WrestleMania, I should say, versus potential obscurity and not even being on the card for the show of shows, let alone the main event for the World Championship against Roman Reigns. No one is guaranteed a spot on the card, except, of course, if you are a champion, like Roman is. But this is the way to get there. Uso fired up. Oh! Hip attack in the corner. And now, super kick to the midsection again. Goes down for the slap to the face. And Jey Uso up to the top rope once more. Oh, wanted the Uso splash again. And again, Breakker gets out of the way. He's going to take advantage of this and go for the cover, but Jey is able to kick out at 2. However, that may be the opening that Bron Breakker needs to put this one away. Breakker locked in here on Jey Uso. Is he going to tap out? Doesn't look like it. Uso able to counter out here as he gets Breakker back to his feet. Hits the super kick and now goes up to the top. Jey Uso once again. Can he hit it? The third attempt is good. The Uso splash into the cover, and Jey Uso is going to the Elimination Chamber. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have all 6 entrants, and Jey Uso defeats Bron Breakker to be the last man to join in here in tonight's main event. Drew McIntyre, GUNTHER, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and now finally Jey Uso, the last man to join the Elimination Chamber match that will determine Roman Reigns' challenger in the main event of WrestleMania. Take a look at your screen. One of these 6 men, 6 of the strongest competitors in the WWE, will be main eventing the show of shows at the end of March in Vegas. And next week on Monday Night Raw, we're going to be having some gauntlet matches, and those gauntlet matches will determine who will enter last in the Elimination Chamber match, as is tradition. We'll be having one for the number 1 contenders chamber match, as well as the United States Championship Elimination Chamber match. And to get a look at that once more, it is Rusev, Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, and L.A. Knight, fighting to become the first United States champion in the Ultra Sport era. So 2 gauntlet matches next week on Monday Night Raw, and we hope to see you then. But for now, we say goodbye and good night after an incredible night of action from Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. We hope to see you next week, and we thank you for having tuned in as the road to WrestleMania continues on the Ultra Sport Network.